Yo, I feel like a magician about to astound and amaze with what I have underneath this fantastic Mad Yako Hank. But it is not my wizardry at work that I'm about to show. You're gonna see something that is unlike anything else I have handled yet. Do I have your attention? Stick around. Hey, Kripple Krew. It's one of those days, and the mind ain't right. I completely forgot to say thank you to everybody for getting the channel to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I had never dreamed that it could happen that quickly. And I thank each and every one of you. But a special shout out to my first 11 channel members, the first members of Kripple Krew Inc. We'll start with Chris Warris because he was the very first. Thank you, Chris. Adventure Man, I appreciate you. BEEDC, I really appreciate you, of course. Neil Mack, thank you, homie. Tactical Llama EDC, I appreciate you, my man. Mrs. Deadly, you know I love your sexy ass. J to the CJ Corscotton, thank you, homie. Rolf Robertson, yo, 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 with the Rolf Robertson trade knife. Appreciate you, my man. Bloominati Ninja, you know, brother, you know I appreciate you. Folk is all. Thank you, folk. And Mick Ranger. Man, I thank you, and I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me. Now, enough of the mushy crap. Get to the video. What's up, Kripple Krew? EDC with DBD. Disabled but deadly, and that's right, big homie Mark Parks sent in a couple of knives so that I could not only experience them myself, but show them to you. And this one in particular really blew my mind. Like, I haven't handled anything like it yet, and I am very excited to be able to show this to you because it is sold out, and so only available on the secondary market. But if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you about something else that is available soon. So before we get into that, stab that like button like you mean it. /subscribe. I'd love to have you here. You're not going to want to miss all the dope knife and EDC content coming your way. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at EDCwithDBD. Do me a favor, drop a comment below. Let me know what's in your pockets. Recently got this Finch Nocturnal in trade with homie Rolf Robertson, and so there will be a review on this one soon. But I am a fan. You know I love me a wicked warnie. So, but that's not what we're here for. Underneath this dope Mad Yako Hank is the golden Designworks caliber. And let me say, when you want to protect your knives, your valuables, you set them down on a Mad Yako Hank. So, the Golden Designworks caliber is really something different. I know from here, it looks dope, right? It looks really cool. We've got that beautiful knurling. And you've got the symmetrical flippers. You can tell you've got a big long blade, a nice milled titanium pocket clip, nice milled tie backspacer. You look here and you can see that you're perfectly centered, and I love that type of backspacer because it shows a lot of confidence. If your centering is off, people are gonna see it. You see a nice big blade hole opening and a couple of different finishes, including that nice horizontal satin. But what you don't see is that this is not your typical frame lock. No, the Golden Designworks caliber is rocking their fusion lock. And just wait till I show you how awesome this is. First, you could tell This is a large knife. Once again, let's look at that beautiful texture, that beautiful diamond texture that they have on there. We've got titanium hardware that's T8s, and look, you've got one screw showing on the show side and two on the lock side, including the steel lock bar insert, which is also a titanium T8. Then, oh, that action and that wicked, wicked Warney blade. Okay, let's start with the specs. We're looking at an overall length of 8.5 inches, so this is a full-size knife. We have an overall thickness with the clip of 650 thousandths, or without the clip 480 thousandths. Our blade length is 3.75 inches with a cutting edge of 3.25 inches because of this big, generous 50-50 choil. We have a blade width of 1.27 inches and a blade stock thickness of 118 thousandths with a behind the edge thickness of only 20 thousandths. And this gorgeous blade with the two-tone bead blast and satin finish is MagnaCut steel at 61 to 63 HRC. So we've got a beautiful choke up spot with that 50-50 choil and a long row of very good jimping on that blade for a great choke up spot, so that this 8.5 inch knife feels very usable. We are running on ceramic ball bearings, and the fusion lock is a button actuated frame lock. So I can work this just like a frame lock if I want to drop that guillotine blade on my thumb. However, if I want the strength of a frame lock, but to be able to save my thumb, you can get the fusion lock from Golden Designworks. And I'm going to show you right here without dropping the blade on myself that when you push the plunger in, it moves the frame out of the way. Very, very simple. I don't know why all frame locks aren't like this. The main reason I don't carry very many frame locks is because of a tendency to drop them on my thumb at times. So we have multiple methods of deployment. We have a rear flipper that works very well, a front flipper that also works fantastic. These symmetrical flippers don't always work well, but as you can see, they did the perfect jimping for a front flipper all the way up and around the corner, and then our rear flipper jimping goes all the way around so that you can grab it all the way around here, and it leaves just enough room for the mag in MagnaCut. I hope that's, there we go, focus. So either flipper works fantastic. And then you've got this generous blade hole that is very easy to reverse flick. If this wasn't my knife, or I mean, if this was my knife, I could easily rock the 5-finger flick challenge on this big bad frame lock. Like, I can flick it from way down there. I can come up higher on it and like let it go. Let's see. You know how bad I am with frame locks in my thumb. Okay, where am I holding? Oh, okay, there we go. Hold on. We're gonna get this. Ha! We got it. So I just had to figure out where to hold it. And this actually, look how much room this, once I realized it, because I'm used to putting my fingers on the pocket clip. Once I realized how much room I have and how much grip I have, I noticed I had enough to actually do it very easily. One more again. Whoa, that was my fault. I got to, come on. There we go. So yes, it's a frame lock that gives you enough room to still do, which means as a lefty, you can still easily launch the reverse flick because your thumb is not going to be anywhere near that lock bar. Oh, great job, guys. Even though it's not not a reversible clip because the way it's inset, it's still going to be very easy for a lefty to manipulate because that button makes it easy and I have so much room to stay off at the lock bar. What a great design. So let's get a couple of size comparisons right quick on this. Thanks again to our Mad Yako Hank for making sure we keep it nice and safe. First, let's go with the Manix 2 lightweight from Spyderco, which is slightly smaller than the Golden Designworks caliber. As is, you know what, let's slide this up. And we can slide this over a little bit. There we go. As is, yes, the the Paramilitary 2. Also, slightly, yes, butt to butt, slightly smaller than the Golden Designworks caliber. Let's go with one more that a lot of people are familiar with. Here's the Civivi Vision FG, looking almost dainty next to the caliber. And just for funsies, we're going to go with a Dimco Shark Cub. A baby shark. All right. So it gives you an idea of how big this knife is. And yet, these rather neutral ergos and the generous choil mean that you can hold it comfortably. So you can be way back here, away from the blade if you want to, and you're still on jimping to lock in. And the nice thing about a frame lock is when you're squeezing it, you're holding that, you're making that lock pressure tighter, harder to disengage, harder to fail on you. So I can choke right up behind the pivot, and I have a lot of room behind my hand. I could even use the end as a little bit of a attitude adjustment if I needed to. It is titanium. I can choke right up on that, right behind the choil, and it's actually comfortable right there and jimping for days. But this big, larger than a Paramilitary 2 knife does not feel like it when I'm right here, and you could be in cuts for days. Nice thing about a Wharncliffe blade, which is one of my favorite styles of blade, probably my favorite, is you get this very long, straight edge, which means you keep the full pressure of the cut all the way out to the tip, and without slipping out. You can make much longer cuts with this. And if this was a beef jerky defense scenario, it means that it's going to cut into the beef jerky flesh with all the pressure all the way out to the tip, making very, very deep cuts. Flip it around in beef jerky defense scenario, still very comfortable, capped off, closed in, and either way, whether I'm here or I'm here, I'm still squeezing on that lock bar. So I'm making sure this lock is much less likely to fail, even though we have obviously a very strong lock with about 40% lock up there and a hardened steel insert so that it's not just titanium on steel contact. Titanium is softer than hardened steel, and so the steel would wear at it, but there is hardened steel insert in here so that that's actually what's making the contact against the tang of the blade. So very strong in any grip. You're locking that lock system in, but you got the ease of a button lock. Like, you can pull it out, use it, drop it away, flip it, drop it. It's like the most fidgety frame lock you're ever gonna find. And you don't have to worry about your fingies. You're not gonna lose your fingies on this one. Seriously, this is a great knife. I'm surprised it took this long for companies to start doing this. Pardon me. But not only the craftsmanship on this knife, but the finger safe capability with the strength of that frame lock is just fantastic. And they definitely, I'm glad that they are making more knives with this lock system, because this is sold out. So this knife started at $349, and for a smaller shop based here in the States, like, I think that is a fantastic deal. I want to see something. Bestech is the OEM, so they've had quite a while to work on their MagnaCut. So besides the caliber, first was the standard, which was smaller, and then the nugget. But December 1st, pre-orders for the slim drop. And the slim is like the more EDC friendly version of the caliber, because not everybody digs carrying an 8.5-inch knife. Now, I would love carrying this knife. I like larger knives. I like smaller. I like knives. So the slim is going to have a 3.5-inch blade and a 4.3-inch handle. So where this is 4 ounces, I forgot to mention that, the slim is only 2.8 ounces. You're still going to have titanium for the scales, for the thumb stud. It's going to have thumb studs here at the back of the blade hole cutout with a wicked teardrop shape that I'm looking forward to. The button looks great on it. There's going to be a couple of different patterns that you can get for the milling. It's still going to be MagnaCut. You're going to be looking at a very similar pocket clip, just a little slimmer. And everything about it is going to be slightly smaller than this, with an overall length of 7.61 inches. So almost an inch length overall. Bringing it down into that definitely, it's still a medium to large EDC knife. I don't know, 8 inches and up is what I consider large. So it'll be more of a medium EDC knife instead of this large. Those pre-orders start on December 1st, and prices are going to start from $299. And I honestly believe that $299 is a very good deal for this knife. They also have a limited version that you can get with MagnaCut hand rub satin at $339, or a Damasteel at only at $489. So there's going to be some options, but even the $299, which is where I'd probably be, is an amazing knife. It's more of the rounded Warney. It doesn't have the angles, but they kept the Wharncliffe. This here is smaller, but you still get a full 50-50 choil. But for some people, it'll be actually more comfortable because it'll bring these fingers closer together. They've cleared out the area around the button a little bit more, but I think it's more of an aesthetic choice the way that they went. So I eventually would love to pick one of these up on the secondary market. I think this is an awesome knife, and Golden Designworks really has something going with this fusion lock. The Slim is an even better option to me because of how much more pocketable and how much lighter it's going to be. 2.8 ounces for full tie and a 3.3 inch MagnaCut blade. So, $2.99, I definitely think that compared to what's on the market, that is a fantastic value. I mean, you're looking at, look at all the craftsmanship all the way around. The attention to detail on all of this titanium work, on their jimping, on everything they do. So, thank you, Mark Parks, for allowing me to check this out and show it off on the channel. I really appreciate it. And it definitely lets me experience what a frame lock can really be. It's the most fidgety frame lock I've ever held. Don't forget to check out Mad Yako Hanks. I'll link them below. Let everybody know, or I would like everybody to let me know what you think of the Golden Designworks caliber. And are you planning on pre-ordering a Slim? Have a killer day. Stay safe, stay frosty. Most importantly, stay deadly.